Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Coffee, where in today's episode, we're going to take a look at a potential crossover between the Cassian Andor Disney Plus series and Solo that was just teased. That's today here on Star Wars Coffee. Disney, for some reason, cannot seem to let Solo go completely. While they continue to develop new series, it always seems that somehow, some way or another, that something from Solo seems to slip in there or tie in there, or they just keep reflecting on it. And this was recently done by Erin Kellyman, who played Enfys Nest in Solo: A Star Wars Story, and she was at a convention doing autographs, signing photos, and she was asked a question on Instagram based on one of these pictures that she posted from one of these conventions. And she was asked the following: I am a huge Star Wars fan, and I was wondering with the upcoming Rogue One TV show spinoff for Cassian Andor, I was wondering if you're gonna be in it. Because according to Star Wars lore, you, Enfys Nest, drop off the coaxium to Saw Gerrera. By the way, I loved you in Solo. You were so good. I barely see any other redhead, so I was super stoked. And she responds, no spoilers here, sorry. Also, yes, big up your mixed redhead self. Okay, so the important part about this is her reply. No spoilers here, sorry. I just need to make this a standalone video to reference, but if you guys are a follower of the channel and have been for at least a few weeks, then you know my rule of thumb when it comes to Star Wars actors and whether or not they're going to make an appearance in an upcoming series. Here is how you know. Very simple. If they say, no, I'm not interested, and or I have not been asked about it, I know nothing about it, then guess what? Not in it. And if they say anything other than a direct no, it means yes. That's just simply how it's been going. And the best example of this that I can give you is Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi. For 4 years, he had to pretend that he had no knowledge of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series and just say that he would be willing to do it. Which we all know he would have been willing to do it anyway, but he never said, no, I haven't had those conversations. He was directly asked by an interview with Collider, have you had those conversations with Kathleen Kennedy? And instead of saying, no, I haven't, I have not been approached, etc., he sat there silent for a second, looked away from the interviewer and said, I'm not sure I'm at liberty to say, really. Okay, so that means yes. And guess what? It ended up being yes. It was announced. Officially announced. Another example. We have Frank Oz with Yoda. During The Last Jedi, I actually covered this, I think. Frank Oz made a statement about Yoda appearing in The Last Jedi, as there had been circumstantial evidence that he was going to be in The Last Jedi. I covered that extensively throughout the entire process of The Last Jedi, and I ended up being correct on that too. And the main reason that I knew, and once I heard Frank Oz make this following statement, I was like, okay, he's going to be in it. We can continue to push the Yoda content, and I have a strong credibility on it once the movie's coming out. That'll improve my track record. And sure enough, Yoda made his cameo in the film. He got his Force Ghost appearance for the sequel trilogy. Frank Oz was asked if he was going to be returning, and all he said, essentially the takeaway from his, other than, it's an honor to do Yoda, blah, 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 is, I'm not going to say anything at this time, but, etc. He made that statement 2 years ago. You can look it up. Frank Oz, second example that proved to be correct. So, another one, Harrison Ford, when it comes to the Rise of Skywalker. He was asked a couple times in several interviews whether he was going to make an appearance in an upcoming Star Wars film, and all he would say is, my character died. Again, not a direct no. And guess what happened? He was in it. So if we take this from Erin Kellyman as no spoilers here, sorry, we know the Cassian Andor series is in development. We know that the scripts were done. We know that there has been 6 weeks of pre-production involved. And We know that no rep from Lucasfilm or Disney has come out to say, yep, this is false, whereas we have an example of that recently where Ahmad Best, who played Jar Jar, came out and said after the Kenobi rumor that he was going to be reprising Jar Jar in Kenobi, he came out and said, yeah, this is not true, I have not been approached about this. So rather than letting it out there, which would have given the credibility to it, fact that they didn't say anything, he comes out and says, no, I'm not in it. So again, if there's an example of a direct no. So until somebody says, no, this is not happening, I always take it to mean yes, because time and time again, it has been proven that if they say anything but no, then it's a yes, and it's been proven true up until now. So let me know what you guys think about this Cassian Andor crossover between Enfys Nest and the Cassian series. We're getting another solo tie-in. The timeline works perfectly. It's in the same time. It would fit. It would be a great way to continue to give those diehards who want to see a solo 2 like myself another gateway into that solo verse. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching. May God bless you and the Force be with you, always. If you enjoyed this episode, and frankly, even if you didn't, don't forget to subscribe.
Do it!
And if you want to help spread the word, please give this video a thumbs up and tell your friends to subscribe. Please check out the official Star Wars Coffee merchandise, and don't forget to check out all of the content playlists on this channel, including The Rise of Skywalker, The Mandalorian, and much more.